So do you want a free Kizer knife or not for Christmas? I mean, all you have to do is scroll down to this thumbnail amongst my videos and then click on it and watch the video and then comment. And it has to be like, an interesting comment, and then you can win this knife. We're going to pick a winner on the 15th, and then you'll have it by Christmas, hopefully, not guaranteed. But it's got to be like a good comment, okay? It can't be just like lame, like, I lost my special knife that my dad had hid in his rectum for 3 years while he was a prisoner of war. Because my girlfriend left it on the kangaroo lamp after I specifically asked her to get it. And since, mob killers were after us and stuff, it can't be that. It's got to be something good, okay? So think of a good thing to comment, and then you can win this knife, and that'll be cool. So, on to the video. So, if you haven't seen the first half of the interview with Laura the Knife Mom about her son Dylan's accident, you should go check that out. It looks like this thumbnail right here, and I'll have a link in the description. Laura has another son named Brandon, and he's usually, a good kid who doesn't cause trouble. So she was very surprised to find out that the authorities had taken him into custody. Well, let's just watch the video. And you have another son named Brandon.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And you have a story that pertains to him and knives too, right? Has to do with that K-bar you mentioned earlier too, right?
Yes. Yes, this just happened.
Oh, I didn't realize it was like that recent.
This happened September the 5th.
Okay, still fresh. All right, so if you would like to tell us the story of what happened to Brandon, that would be awesome. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, this one.
And Brandon's not a troublemaker, right?
Yes. Okay, Brandon is like the perfect child, like super perfect, like never made a B in his entire life, ever.
I didn't make too many B's either, but not for the same reason.
He's like this exact opposite of Dylan, like exact opposite. Brandon goes to Stanford University on a full scholarship as well. He's Mr. Perfect.
And definitely no legal trouble.
Never been in trouble a day in his life, ever.
Definitely not one to be carrying weapons around, right?
Oh, God, no. He's like real quiet, laid back. He won't say anything, whereas Dylan is a lot more outgoing. Brandon came down for the summer, and he brought a little overnight bag, and Dylan took the overnight bag because he's always doing something, and he took it and he went and spent a couple weekends with that bag up at the lake. And
now, this big knife has nothing to do with the story. No relation at all.
Nice. I like it.
I mean, this is no 12-inch K-bar.
It's super nice. So he borrows this overnight bag and
from his brother.
This is Dylan borrowing the bag, and then from Mr. Perfect. And so when it came time to pack up his stuff to go back to Stanford in September, the night before, I had taken everything out of the bag. It's like a very soft-sided like duffel bag, and the bottom had metal tubes, I guess, where the telescoping handle goes into it. So you feel metal on the bottom. Well, so on the bottom of this, I felt metal on there, but I thought it was the telescoping handle, so I didn't think anything of it. But I emptied out the whole bag, and we put all of Brandon's stuff back in there, and then packed his suitcases. He had a bunch of suitcases to go back, and so we woke up that morning, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to be late," and I was like, "No, we're going to get there in time." It was Labor Day week. It was Labor Day Monday, so I got him there in time, and I drop him off, and then I leave, and I'm at the little store down the street from the airport, and he told me that he was just that he was in the line for TSA and it was really long. And I was like, okay. Well, about an hour later, he texts me and he goes, I missed my flight. And I said, you're kidding me. There's no way you missed your flight. We got you there in plenty of time. He goes, no, I missed my flight and they had to give me another flight. But he sounded like he was like almost in tears. And I was like, what happened? And he told me that when he went through TSA, oh, that's a nice one too. I like that one too. Did you do that?
This is a Rob Skinner knife from SC Blades. He donated it to my channel so I could give it away, do a little giveaway for Halloween and for reaching 100 subscribers. And yeah, I really like his stuff.
Did you put that orange stuff on there yourself?
No, that's the way it comes. It's like a neck knife, real lightweight, for light carry.
I could tell it was a neck. How are you pulling it at neck?
Yeah, I'll post a link below to how you can win it.
Nice. Anyway, he told me that he had missed his flight and that he got it.
He's still there, right?
He's still at the airport. He said that the next flight that left was going to be in 4 hours, which was going to make him late for his first class there. He was going,
but not still in custody.
No, he was already released at this point.
No bail needed. That was good.
So I said, what happened? Why were you late? And he said that when he went through TSA, when he went through the, I don't know, you go through those things, that arch thing, and
the scanners.
Yeah, well, some brutish lady, she gets him by the arm and says, "You're going to come with me.
Let me see your papers."
And he was like, "Okay." So they take him into one of those private, you go to these private rooms. And he had a guitar strapped to his back. He's a musician. He had a guitar. He had a jacket on because he was going back. It's cold over there. It's cold. It's cold in Palo Alto compared to Texas. So he has on a jacket, and so they made him take off his shoes, his sock. Well, no, those were already taken off. But he had to take off his jacket and untuck his shirt and take off his guitar. And they did basically a strip search. And
you got to start worrying when they start putting on the latex gloves, right?
Yeah, it was crazy. He was mortified. If you only knew him, he was just sitting, he was just mortified. So, the lady said, you wouldn't happen to have anything sharp on with you, would you? And he said, of course not. And so when he says that, she reaches into the side pocket of this bag and she pulls out, I called it a fucking Crocodile Dundee looking knife. Remember that movie where they say he pulls out a knife?
That ain't a knife.
You call that a knife? This is a knife. And she pulled out his K-bar. It was one of those giant, I think it had a 12 or 13 inch long machete type blade.
Security lady probably called it a sword.
And it was in a sheath, and I bought it at a pawn shop.
And it's not his, right?
No, it was Dylan. It was I bought it for Dylan at a pawn shop, and I think whoever had it needed money because it was brand new, just brand.
Like for chopping down trees.
A K-bar. This was a K-bar, big old K-bar. I mean, huge. And so this wasn't some little pie.
It was plane hijacking size.
Yeah, it's a giant 12 to 13 inch long machete type blade. Not a skinny blade either. Like a knife, like a steak knife blade. This thing was probably 4 inches top to bottom. It was a huge freaking knife, and it had a really nice sheath as well, super nice sheath. And so she pulled it out. And she gets within 1 inch of his face and says, and when she said to him, do you have anything sharp on you? And he said, of course not. She leans in and she gets in within 1 inch of his face and goes, that's what they all say.
Like a Soviet
And so,
interrogator.
yeah. And so it was like, that's what they all say. And so he was just like, he was like, it's not mine. It's not mine.
So he had no idea where it came from, really.
No, he doesn't. That's the thing. He couldn't tell you a knife. He knows nothing about knives. I only know as much as what
Was
he tells.
was he able to figure out where it came from, like right away?
He had no idea what the hell was going on. And then I guess it like dawned on him the only thing that it could have been was Dylan. Um, and the thing about it was, I'm the one who unpacked that bag. I did not see that thing.
So it's
And that thing,
kind of your fault, huh?
I felt like total. That knife was so damn big. And the only thing I could think of is when it was in that side pocket that it slipped down under the back side where it has the rollers or that telescopic thing, and I didn't feel it because I was like, how in the hell did I miss that damn thing? That thing is like not a tiny knife. It's
So it felt like part of the bag,
Yes, it
basically.
felt like the hardened part of the back of the suitcase. So I felt terrible. And I was like, because I told him there's no way that knife was in there because I would have found it, but apparently I didn't. And the only thing he could think of at the time was like, God damn, Dylan. He was so mad. So they interrogated him.
Did Dylan feel bad about this?
Oh yeah, Dylan's like, oh yeah, I left my K-bar in there.
Not
And
very remorseful.
he thought it was funny. Brandon didn't think it was funny at all. Brandon was livid. And so they delayed him so long. Um, he realized he was going to miss his flight. So they finally let him go. They took the knife too, by the way. They're like,
Oh, that's
I
the
think they
saddest
throw
part.
them in a big bin and then sell them later. I don't know what they do,
Oh
but
yeah, you can buy those by the pound, I think.
do they? Isn't that crazy? Well, somebody got a super nice K-bar out of this, which kind of me off, but
You wonder
uh,
if it's someone from the airport that gets the knife, and not if it doesn't really get sold as part of one of the, confiscated ones.
oh, I'm sure. I thought the same thing.
The really nice knives don't go to the regular auction, maybe, huh?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I guarantee you, they get like first dibs uh, on this knife bin stuff. I'm sure. Um,
So
his
they let him go, and then he has to try to get to his flight, right?
well, his gate. You would unfortunately his gate. I think there's 32 gates at Intercontinental Airport, Houston, um, and his gate was 32. So he had to he, he had to haul ass to his. He didn't have his shoes on. He didn't have his socks. He was carrying them. Had his guitar on his back, jacket. Everything's. He's soaking wet from sweating because he was thought he was going to be arrested. Um, he gets to the counter, and she said, "Oh, you can't get on. We just closed the doors." The flight was still 16 minutes away from taking off, but they wouldn't let him on, and so they had to make him a new flight.
They probably heard at the
And
gate to watch out for this kid.
watch this kid. He tried to take this machete. That's what it reminded me of, like a machete. That's what it looked like.
Like a slightly heavier duty, shorter
Yeah,
machete.
that's what it looked like to me. It was a machete. Because when we went to the pawn shop, he was like, "God, I gotta have this," and I kind of I buy him all kinds of stuff. I mean, I'm the only mom that buys my kid an AK-47, and he got that.
That's
He got that
awesome.
last year, but um, he's like really responsible, I guess, but not. And I guess it was more my fault because I'm the one who unpacked it. But he actually, Brandon was like, he didn't even say anything. He just took the late flight. He sat down. He's sweating. He's all disheveled looking, and then out of nowhere, uh, a little old lady appeared. He said she was about 75 years old, and she had walked to one of those little airport stores and bought him an ice cold Sprite and walked over to him and said, "I can tell you're having a really bad day, and I just wanted to cheer you up, and I hope your day gets better." Wasn't that just that part of that story always chokes me up because somebody went out of their way to comfort somebody who was clearly distressed. So you can tell how distressed this kid. He was the only one there because they let everybody else on. He was the only one there, sitting there all by himself, all dejected, probably in tears, but he won't admit it. Um,
No, we never
and
admit that.
this lady came out of nowhere to do that for him, which I thought was really nice. So
That's so nice. Oh, so something I thought of when I read the post you made, you said that he ran through the airport like O.J. Simpson
that's right, I did.
trying to get to his gate. I didn't know if you.
It was yeah. It was for yeah, and you know,
And what I thought was, we're talking about O.J. Simpson, and we're talking about big giant knives. O.J.
you know
Simpson.
what? I didn't even think of that until you said that, but I did. I said he O.J. Simpson did through the airport. You older people will know what I'm talking about because
The Avis commercial, right?
it was that commercial was clearly the guy. It was O.J. hauling ass because he's a running back.
And he clearly knows a thing or two about big knives.
That's if he did it. That's
Allegedly.
yeah. That's if he did it. You remember the book he wrote? If I did it, get the hell out of here. That's crazy.
Well, that's all for today. And I'd like to thank Laura, the knife mom, and O.J. Simpson, and Laura's sons, Dylan and Brandon. And have a nice holiday. Oh, and check out the knife giveaway videos and our other videos, and have a nice day.